welcome to Loving the Planets for the week of July 23rd, 2018. I'm Armand Diaz, sweltering here on Long Island, New York.
Well, I'm Margaret Gray in a kind of rainy and grey Dublin, so we're hoping the heat wave will come back soon.
We'll send it over to you.
Thank you. That would be fabulous. So, Armand, talk about sweltering. I mean, this is quite a huge week, isn't it? I mean, we've got this second eclipse coming up, which is a total lunar eclipse, which is an Aquarius full moon. So, I mean, this is huge, not just because in it of itself it's an eclipse, and of course, when it's a lunar eclipse, it means that our emotions get covered up. They come to the surface, but they get covered up, so we can feel them all bubbling underneath, but it's not so easy to really see them and get a handle on them. Plus the fact that Aquarius is a little bit of a detached moon anyway, but it's because there's so many aspects to this full moon. So in terms of relationships, what are your thoughts about this major eclipse?
Well, I'll tell you, in terms of the eclipse, I kind of feel that, well, first of all, I feel that a lot of the eclipse energy is not going to be about relationships itself. This eclipse is, the moon is going to be conjunct Mars, which is right on the south node, and Mars is out of bounds. At a full moon eclipse, I mean, square to Uranus, because the sun squares Uranus on Tuesday, it's an explosive coming to a head of tensions that have been running around in our individual lives and in the collective for the last long time, but certainly for the last few weeks or a month or so. So the first thing that I would say is don't project other stuff, other tensions and other anger, explosiveness that you're feeling elsewhere in your life onto your partner and into your partnerships. That's the first thing I'd say.
Also, not to forget, it's trine Chiron. So, you know, as we often say, whenever there are aspects to Chiron, their old pain can come up. It kind of can feel a little ouchy. So even more reason, as you say, to be careful. Really, we're saying to people to be very cautious on this day, to really be cautious of what they say to each other, of, you know, what's going on, and really to watch what our thinking processes are, because Aquarius is a very mental energy, even though it's the moon. So really, where are our thoughts going? And if we're kind of looping around thoughts about connections with people, to really be aware that we're in an eclipse time, and so we may not fully see the whole picture. Not to mention that this eclipse is also quincunx Saturn, so there's something that feels a little blocked, that we're kind of trying to overcome obstacles, which can feel incredibly frustrating. And one last one is also that it's at the same time as Venus trine Pluto. Now, on the one hand, that could lend maybe a little bit of passion, you know, somewhere amidst it all. You're a little skeptical. Yes, I am too, but I just thought I might suggest that just as a little sweetener. Or, of course, it also can bring to the fore, you know, obsessions, jealousies, you know, more of this that can feed the mental looping. So really quite a day, isn't it?
It's quite a week. I would think that it's fine to really look at this as being one big schmear from Monday through Friday at least, and probably into the weekend. I think that the eclipse energy and all these aspects that we're talking about is just going to keep building over the course of the week. So it's not like there's like a moment of it. I think the whole thing is just there. So I think you need to be cautious all week long. And yeah, that Venus trine Pluto, you know, it's a closing trine. Venus is getting close. It's coming to the end of the cycle. And trines often have a lot to do with, always their easy aspects, but they have a lot to do with release. You know, you get yourself into a good hot mood on the eclipse, you know, and you can let go of a relationship very easily with this, especially maybe, I don't know, with Venus opposite Neptune earlier in the week, and that could be unclear.
Yes, you know, I was just thinking that when you were talking about, you know, the Venus-Pluto trine, I was thinking, yes, that Venus opposition Neptune, you know, there can be an element there, as well as the confusion. Sometimes there can be an element of deception or perceived deception, even if deception isn't there. So that sense of suspiciousness of, you know, is this real or is this not? And again, we've got the Sun trine Chiron that same day. So again, Chiron comes into the picture. So So there's a lot of Chiron coming into the picture this week, which just indicates there's old stuff waiting to be healed and kind of cleared. And of course, on Wednesday, we've got the Sun square Uranus, which starts that more explosive feeling, that impatience, that wanting to create change. And we've got Mercury retrograde yet again.
I think that the Venus-Neptune aspect would be, it's often a romantic, Venus-Neptune aspects are often kind of romantic, if unrealistic, but hey, that's fine. And Venus-Pluto is often, as you said, passionate. But with everything else that's going on this week, I would really think that it could be, Venus in Virgo could pick on one little thing and watch it grow into this sort of explosive type of situation. I also think that with Venus opposite Neptune, which is a little nebulous and perhaps a little deceptive, and Mercury stationing to go retrograde, we could wind up having rows, as you would say over there, we wind up having rows over things that are actually not real issues, hit the wrong emoji on your phone or something like that, and there you go.
That's so true. And we're back to kind of what we've said before with, Mercury stationing retrograde and Mercury going retrograde. Really watch what you write, watch what you say to people, really think, put a lot of thought into it before, and maybe write your emails without putting the address, really get a friend to read it, just get a friend to check it over before you send it. So really what we're saying to people this week, Armand, is really to be very careful with any contact with friends or even colleagues or whatever, that things can be misinterpreted. Communication can really lead to pretty big explosions if they're not really thought out carefully.
And just one last little thought, because that Venus trine Pluto thing just kind of gets in there. Sometimes we try to keep the lid on things that really need to blow. Sometimes we do need to clear things out. Sometimes we do need to bring things to an end. Sometimes we do need to clear the air and get it all out there. This week would be a good opportunity for that, but dial it up to 7. Don't go to 11 on it,
Well, on that cheerful note, just to remind everyone to, do subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want to see our videos regularly. And just a quick reminder that we are taking registrations for a 1-year certificate course. And we will see you all next week. Take care, Armand. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Margaret.